Hello and welcome to episode number 5, I think it is, of
Five.
Pod Destroyer. I'm joined as always with MetalMance. How are you doing?
Yeah, not bad. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. I think we need to stipulate that you're still not feeling well.
Oh, we
Um,
can hear
yeah,
it.
from the damnation flu, which is now
Yeah.
has sort of reached numerous people that I've seen on comments and YouTube videos and things like that. That people have mentioned that they have experienced the damnation flu, but it has
Yeah.
got you
So,
proper, hasn't it?
yeah, whoever was a super spreader, thanks,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
no thanks.
Yeah. So yeah, this is just going to be basically you and me just chatting because we have no guests, we have no particular um festivals or anything to talk about on that. So let's just talk about what we've been listening to basically for the last couple of weeks and what's been going on. Now I want to talk about the big news, I suppose, of Converge after 10 years, I think, something like that. Finally coming out with a new single. And basically, I'm just going to talk about my sort of personal opinions on this thing. And I think generally this entire episode is just going to be our personal opinions on things that are happening in the metal news at the moment.
But
Um,
other opinions are welcome.
Other opinions are available. This is
Yeah.
to stipulate that these are personal opinions. They're not factual. Our listeners, you are welcome to have different opinions to us. It's absolutely fine.
And if you
Um,
disagree, you can start your own podcast.
start like we did exactly when because we were like, those people know nothing. Let's start our own podcast. So yeah, so I now I think I've sort of mentioned this previously in conversations that we've had about this kind of internet hive mind where everybody determines that something is good and everybody is like, wow, this is amazing, like this is the most mind-blowing thing I've ever heard. um and I saw a lot of that on the new Converge single, and I listened to it. I was like, it's fine. I really don't see anything stand out in it whatsoever. Um, what's it called? Love is not enough, I think.
Yeah. I
Um,
thought it was going to be a Nine Inch Nails cover.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I, that would have really piqued my interest. I will just clarify that I was really late to the whole Converge hype. In their heyday was when I still wasn't listening to like the really heavy raw stuff.
Mm.
I remember I listened to Converge when I was a teen, hated it. I was like, no, 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 this is too noisy for me. But then, like a few years ago, I finally listened to them properly, and I was like, yeah, yeah, I can jam with these. Yeah, the new single's fine.
It's fine, isn't it? Yeah. It actually, the whole thing, the whole kind of release plan had leaked on Reddit a few days before.
Oh,
So the album cover had been kind of dropped on Reddit. A lot of the comments were, "This doesn't seem very Jacob Bannon in terms of the album artwork."
hmm,
And there again, I think we're going to have to get into this on another sort of podcast episode. Is about AI's influence
yeah.
on artwork and things like that. And actually, I think it's already causing issues because people already can't tell the difference.
Hmm.
And there was a lot of like Reddit comments about, well, this just looks like AI. Um, I guess the problem is you can't really tell. Uh,
No, I can't see Converge as an AI.
oh, no way. No,
No.
absolutely not. I completely agree. But I think it's already starting to muddy the waters, basically. And I think that sort of is it puts a dampener on things. And
I
leaks are
think
not
I think having
unusual.
something leaked puts a dampener on things as well.
Yeah, but I don't. I mean, leaks aren't really unusual. And I think this is one of the bigger. album. Not the, it wasn't the full album. It was just the track listing. It
Yeah.
was the artwork, etc. Um, so it's not like it's leaked music or anything like that. But I think that the issue, not the issue for me, but I think with Converge as a band, is they've not really had the same trajectory as their peers. So they haven't really, I mean, look at Botch, for example.
Yeah.
They, dropped two albums, I think, two and a half albums, fucked off for 20 years, built up a huge kind of
Cult
hungry
following.
audience, cult following to see them. And when they returned, they were able to, feed off of that. Dillinger Escape Plan as well. I would put them in the same boat. And you look at what's happening with Dillinger as a band. There's kind of renewed interest with them because they're playing with, OG lineup as much as they
Yeah.
can with Dimitri on vocals and things like that. Um, and there's a big kind of buzz around that band, Dillinger, Botch, their peers. Converge just kind of spent, I guess, nearly a decade now. I think just kind of not being around. Um,
Whereas they should have
and
just done a couple of legendary albums, dipped, and then
yeah,
come back.
yeah. I mean, speaking as I say, this is an opinions episode. I haven't really listened to what they've done since No Heroes, which is 2006. I mean, that's getting on for 20 years to me for their peak album. But I think a lot of people got into that band after No Heroes.
Yeah.
And in that period of time, they've dropped two albums, I think it was, and then kind of just sort of petered out, you know. Um, they did Blood Moon with Brodsky from Cave In and Chelsea
Yeah.
Wharf, which was amazing. But to me, that was more kind of that was more like Cave In featuring Converge than the other way around to me.
All right.
So it is, as I say, it is personal opinion, but I kind of don't really see what everybody was getting so sort of hyped up about. Um, and I think generally, it's kind of tying it back to the reviews. I think we were talking about before about reviewing things like honestly, and not everything
Yeah.
is a 5K release all of the time.
I
Um,
think when I was listening to it, it's good. It's good. Um, I think I don't know if they are how do I phrase this? Like a victim of their own kind of influence because I was listening to the single and I was like, well, this just sounds like everything out there now.
yeah, yeah,
Obviously,
yeah,
the bands influenced by Converge
yeah,
are now delivering the kind of like same output. And I was listening
yeah,
to it and I was
yeah.
like, there's literally like 50 other bands that are doing
That's
this
right.
now.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
it's like it's great that Converge fans are loving the new single because they're
Mm.
obviously just happy to hear more from a band that they like. But how can Converge outdo, not outdo, but how can Converge kind of get their crown back from the
I don't
newbies
disagree
that
with that.
are
Yeah.
that are doing the same, if not arguably better in some
Better. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
cases?
Yeah.
Have they been
I
away
don't
too long?
disagree. I think only time will tell, basically. I don't know. I don't know why you would. But I've been following Jacob Bannon's Substack. God, that is a miserable read. And you're just like, like I know that they're like, especially Jake Bannon's very like dour and like, yeah, come on, man. Like, I don't want to say like cheer up, but God, it
Yeah.
is a dour read. Um, I mean, the on the plus side, I think the production's really good as always. I
Yeah, no, the
really,
production was slick. The music video
yeah,
also
interesting. It's good you brought that up
slick.
because I forgot about it, and I'd watched it, and I was like, "Is this real or is this
Yeah.
AI?"
No, yeah, that feels AI. But I think it's very polished for a Converge video, Converge single. And I don't know if that's the thing that kind of makes me feel disconnected from it because I want something quite raw and gritty.
You want the filth, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I want the filth. But I think that's just music in general nowadays. Like everything's a bit too polished.
yeah. I think Jake sounds good. I think vocally he sounds really solid. Um, I think we're entering into the phase though of um, you know, 50-year-old men playing, or men in their 50s playing chaotic hardcore. And you're like, where's, is this okay? Like, I don't know.
Says he who went to go see Stamping Ground, a dead guy.
Well, that's true. That is true. I mean, I think I'm not sure Stamping Ground are up in their 50s yet. Dead Guy definitely are. Um, well, I think Dead Guy's a prime example of taking 30 years doing other bands
Yeah,
and then going, oh, we're back, as if they've
yeah.
not fallen away, and they've got that, there's that energy. And I'm going to be interested to see. Now, I note this down, 26th of November 2025. I think Converge will be a natural headliner for Damnation next year. We'll see if I'm
Yeah, no,
correct on that
it's
one.
kind of makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's interesting that Napalm, I know we're going off on a tangent here, Napalm Death has been announced for Arctangent. I wonder if
Yeah,
that's so that they can play to more people before 11 o'clock.
yeah. Good lineup that. Now, Napalm, just a perpetually touring band.
Yeah,
That you're never not able to see Napalm, from one month to the next. They're touring again in February. Um, you know, I think it's going to be interesting. We'll see. I'm sort of holding on to. I think the record's out in February for Converge. Um, I think it's fine. It's okay. We'll see how it ties together in the on the album as a whole. Um, so what else? Anything that's been hitting your ears?
yeah. It's out tomorrow, but the new Feather Mountain, and that has absolutely sideswiped me in, and I think it's proof that you really shouldn't start drafting your end of year lists
I
too
totally
early.
agree with that. Yeah, yeah. We've
Yeah,
still got
so
5 weeks left.
yeah, no, that's been my big one. I've also been enjoying the new Temples from Mars. They're kind of hard rock, has a little element of prog. They've come back after an absence of a few years. That's been enjoyable. Looking forward to the new God Eater, which is out on Friday as well. The new single Leech has been really good. Yeah, I feel like in the next couple of weeks, there's a lot going on for me, music wise.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, lots of new singles. A new single by Mole, which I've really enjoyed, called Young. So that's going to be the album's out in January, February, early next year, and that's already kind of gearing up to be like one of my most anticipated albums for next year. I'm just having a look at what other singles that have come out recently. Yeah, the new Monosphere featuring Despite Exile is good. They're good lads. Kind of heavy prog. Yeah, I'm back into like the progressive stuff at the minute, I
Okay.
think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I am just constantly consuming the filth, basically. Um, I mean, it's what I do. But um, really liking the new Lamb of God singles, actually, both of them. Um, and I don't know why, because I haven't listened. Well, I've never really listened to them. I've seen them a few times. Never, I think never really going to see Lamb of God, but they've been on bills that I have been at. So,
Yeah.
I've
I've
gone to see Lamb
never
of God.
I've never chosen to listen to them. People are always really surprised to hear that I'm not a fan. I I don't know what it is. I like the riffs. I I think it's the vocals. I think it's Randy's vocals that I've never been able to just to
Mm,
gel
mm.
with. Um, I like the groove. I like the groove, the riffs. Um, but there's always been something missing for me. Um, but I don't know why. I should
I
like
always
them.
I always took them as, I suppose, if I, because I sort of grew up with Pantera and Sepultura and early Machine Head
Yeah.
and things like that. Lamb of God and those types of bands, Chimera, were like the second
Yes.
wave of
Yeah. No, I
that
love
stuff.
Chimera. Love
Well,
Chimera.
I do. I think they're a really underrated band, actually.
Yeah.
But in that sort of hierarchy, I think it was called the new wave of American heavy metal, wasn't
Yeah.
it, back then?
Yeah.
Uh, God forbid were my favorite of
Yes.
that scene. They were so fucking good, and I saw
Yeah.
them live a couple of times as well, and they were absolutely crushing. And I don't think they had their dues at all.
No.
And I
Same with
think,
Shadows Fall. I think Shadows Fall were a bit bland.
mm,
More thrashy, weren't they? Whereas God
yeah,
forbid
yeah,
were really more metalcore. Um, gosh, yeah. Throwbacks.
yeah. But the new Lamb of God singles, both of them have got this really like noisy kind of, uh, almost, because I know that like Randy's always been into those sorts of bands, like things like Jesus
Yeah.
Lizard and Today is a Day, and but that's never really come through in their music.
Yeah.
And to me, both of these tracks are kind of bringing that vibe into it. Like there
I'll have
just
to give
seems
them a
to be a lot
listen.
more like, to me, a lot more chaos and a lot more noise. Um, but and this is when I'm like, I just seem to just not agree with the hive mind on the internet. Um, Everyone's like, oh, oh, it's not really, Lamb of God's not been churning out, not great stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, I've not listened to them ever, and I really like these tracks. So, you know, have I been missing out on something? Is there?
I now I'm gonna sound like a massive snob here, but when don't I sound like a snob? I guess Lamb of God, they are a heavy band for the more mainstream metal fans,
Oh
if
yeah,
you
yeah,
will.
yeah,
So any slight change in sound, and if you're saying that they're a bit, there's some noise elements. Mainstream metal bands, I'm stereotyping here. Mainstream metal bands probably aren't inclined to listen to like the noise side of things,
yeah,
so
yeah,
they're not gonna like a noise kind of influenced. Oh
yeah,
my God,
yeah.
that's my
Because I
take
think
on that.
when they were Burn the Priest, and I
They
think
were
maybe
really
no,
hard punk, weren't they? Kind of
yeah, yeah,
really
that
crusty
like
punk, hardcore.
the that's what's the town? It's like because I think they came up with like uh Kylesa and Damad and bands like that. Um and they had Steve Austin of Today is the Day produce, I think he produced Burn the Priest. So they were always in that kind of,
Right.
scene. And then, I guess the edges got smoothed off. You know,
Rounded
uh
edges.
rounded the edges. Yeah, I mean, it's lots of bands. Baroness have had that, and Mastodon, and they lose that sort of grime edge. But yeah, I really like it, and I
Oh,
look
I'll
forward
have to
to
give him a
look
listen.
forward to the record. So I would thoroughly recommend that.
Even though
Um,
I'm not hot on his vocals, I do enjoy his guest appearances. Now, he appeared on a Lacuna Core track from our album this year. That's really good.
mm,
And he's appeared on. No, this might be another episode idea, but I. I'm going off on a tangent here. When I see vocalists say, oh, hire me to be to appear in your tracks, let's chat kind of thing. And then suddenly they appear on every minor
everything.
band's tracks.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and I know that they've just bought that guest appearance rather than having like an organic interaction
Like
and the vocalist
Devin Swank from Sangway Sugar Bog. And
or Courtney the Plant. I love
yeah,
her,
yeah,
but
yeah,
appearing on
yeah,
everything.
yeah,
And
yeah.
even like Matt Heafy and gosh, the guy from Thy Art Is Murder was appearing on everything.
Hey,
Now
bills have got
that's
to be
no diff.
paid though.
I know that's the
It's a
thing.
hard
First of all,
industry.
got to make a living, and
Yeah,
also if it gets the band's song heard by the fans of the guest vocals, that's fine. But being the snob I am and being like a music consumer, if I see a track with a particular guest vocalist, I'm like, oh no, I'm not interested.
mm, mm.
But seeing Randy on guest as a guest vocalist, I'm like, oh, because then there's just, even though I don't like his vocals on Lamb of God, he always just gives
He like
guests
steps
like
up that.
just
Yeah,
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 yeah. But maybe I just need to give these songs a chance. So
yeah. Vocally again, it is very. There's some like, as I say, some like spoken kind of David Yao sort of Jesus Lizard type stuff on it, and I was like, fuck, like I'm actually really into this. Um, well, something that came my way today, funny enough, just on a recommendation from Spotify, just one of those things that just rocked up, is Scab Hag. Um, it's an EP called Flesh Interface,
wow,
which was just in mid-November. Quite sort of suffocation kind of vibes,
right, okay.
which is my bag, my sort of stuff.
Scab Hag. It sounds like me on
Scab
my eczema
Hag.
flares up.
um, yeah, I mean it's so yeah, nice and filthy that. Um, Oaken as well. I keep seeing coming up, which is kind of a um, uh, neurosis, kind of the ocean sort of. What did
Ooh,
they used to call
okay.
it? Neurisis. When it was like neurosis and ISIS kind of vibe. So I've been listening to that. That's very good as well. So yeah, I mean, like you said, like coming up to the end of the year, there's still
Yeah.
great stuff coming out. So don't write your end of year lists
No.
until you know it's all out, basically.
Oh,
Um,
another band that's been on my radar, mainly because of the Tolkien reference and their announcement for Incineration, is One of Nine.
okay,
Would
I always
never
think
have
of
given them a
Star
listen.
Trek with that.
No, One of Nine is in The Witch King. One of
Oh,
Nine.
okay. It's a reference I've lost.
But yeah, so when they got announced as Incineration, everyone was getting hyped, and I was like, One of Nine? Is that a Tolkien reference? And it was. So yeah, so they're Tolkien inspired extreme metal.
Yeah,
Um, but I still don't think it's enough for me to get an Incineration ticket. There's nothing for me yet for
you should
next
come. It
year.
is a really good day out.
Oh, I know, but it's in
I
Camden.
Yeah, true. And I'm in Camden on Friday to watch Death Heaven and Portrayal of Guilt.
Oh, again.
Again, yeah, that'll be both bands I've seen three times this year. So
I
I
was
think I
sad to
think
miss. I missed Cytotoxin, Asaya. Gosh, who else was on the bill? I missed them on Tuesday because I'm still unwell.
yeah,
And the footage was great, and I was like, oh God, I missed a
no,
good one
yeah,
there.
disappointing. Yeah.
Yeah, but there we go.
Um, so yeah, now speaking of albums and bands that have previously appeared on year-end release album lists, we need to talk about Vitriol and Gas Station Gate.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, this is we've been talking about this. I think for numerous bands over the last sort of couple of years. Um, and I made a post on Instagram that is just like social media just makes metal
Yeah.
so lame,
Yeah.
so
It's just
lame.
it's got worse in the past year or two.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
know what has shifted. People have always been assholes and dickheads in the scene,
yeah.
but for whatever reason, in the past year or two, social media has just got really toxic with it as well.
I think it. And this is good. This is the spicy take episode. I think it sort of magnifies people's view of themselves. You know, like Vitriol are a good band. Like they're a good concept. Um, but and I want to give this advice to any bands listening to this. Like as a I've got I've got no direct industry kind of experience as such, but I have been around the industry for a long time. And um, there used to be a concept of like press releases and PR, and bands were advised to just stay the fuck away from, we will manage the announcements. Now, I don't know whether in today's industry that has gone out the window because
Yeah.
it's expensive. Um, record labels aren't providing the full support package that bands used to be given. And they're
We
kind
didn't
of
have
left to
social media back in the day.
true, yeah. And they were, but now like everything is so it's a lot more independent. We have social media. Um, individuals have personal accounts
Yeah.
in bands as well. And my recommendation would be to those individuals, delete all your social media. Like if you're it, like you have the band page and that's it. And you have, you know, uh somebody that is nominated to manage your band page. And that is it basically. And it could be a separate person, um, you know. Um, but like just watching these bands just time and time again just implode and then sort of magnify their implosion as if anybody really gives a shit. Like, and no, and this is kind of like I have to caveat this. It's like no disrespect to Vitriol as a concept of a band. I bought all of their albums. I love it. But it's like if the band disappeared tomorrow, nobody's gonna go, oh man, where's Vitriol? Like, what a shame, you know. And like I just saw the 20-minute like live that he did explaining his side of the story. And you're like, dude, like to me, I don't know, maybe this is just me. I don't care. I really don't care. Get yourself home. It will be
I
fine.
think
Like,
social media gets fans. Bands are more accessible to fans in a way, aren't they?
oh
And
yeah,
it's
hugely, yeah.
it's like fans feel like they're owed something because they're more invested now on like
It's
a
that
kind
it's
of social.
parasocial
Yeah, yeah.
relationships. Yeah, yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I think where I come from with it is I don't know. We spoke about this before. I listen to metal to escape the drama of life, the world. I use it as an escape from politics and everything. And then when you have all this band drama just explode on social media, and everyone gets really aggy in the comments. And I'm just like, like personally, I'm like, this isn't what I signed up for
I
as a metal
I
fan.
yeah,
And I
I don't
thought,
disagree.
as a community, I thought we were better than them. Now, I'm not saying that there's never been any dickheads in metal, obviously not. But I don't know. Something's happened in the last couple of years where metal on social media is just,
Well, I
eh,
think
ah,
I think it is that window to the flaws of humans.
yeah.
And if I think about the way that this would have been handled in the 90s, like, and I'm thinking of like two examples. Like Glenn Benton from Deicide used to just, he would just say, "I'm going to kill myself at the age of 33," and he's like 56 now, and he hasn't done it. Which is great
It's great.
for YouTube's, whatever it is. Um, but it was done tongue in cheek, like obviously, like and there was a character aspect to it. And, you know, like teenage Beard would read that and it'd be like, yeah, Glenn Benton's like cool and evil as fuck. And like, it felt untouchable. It felt like a character,
Yeah.
um, you know, completely unobtainable. Um, and watching like Chris Barnes from Cannibal Corpse, and like, I had a big poster on my wall, and he's got his eyes like rolled up into the back of his head, and I'm just like, this is evil. Like,
Yeah.
um, you know, and they were untouchable. Pete Steele, like all of these people. Imagine if each of those individuals had social media.
Yeah.
Like it would have just ruined. I mean, look at Chris Barnes in 2025. Everybody's taking the piss out of him now. And
He's
I'm
just a
like,
meme.
you know,
He's
and
just a
and
meme.
and it's just like, if metal keeps doing this, I'm just like, I think I'm not interested. Um, and you know, like there are adults. Like all of these people are adults. And you imagine in our actual non-metal corporate worlds that we exist in during the day, imagine us acting like this.
Yeah.
Like it just,
In the real life, in the real world.
yeah. And you know, I I mean, hopefully, I think there has to be room for flawed characters in metal. There has to be, because, you know, um and I think even the Kyle said, he was like, Kel surprise that a band called Vitriol may have somebody with some anger issues in them, and he was like, this is my outlet. And I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. I totally get that. Um, but I don't know. Like, is there ways of handling this in a better way? Like, how would it have been handled back in the day with label reps and PR, and it just wouldn't have even heard of it happening, you know? Um, I think that's a good
Or
segue. And
it would have become like a legendary story
you would have read
later
about
on.
in Terrorizer or
Yeah.
Metal Hammer, and it would have been, like you say, written in a way that made it feel more exciting and dangerous
Yeah.
and like metal, rather than a
An
bunch of adults.
embarrassment.
Yeah, a bunch of adults, you know, got a bit leery, and and now he's just left at a gas station.
I mean,
Um,
the memes have been great, you
I've
know.
not seen I've not seen them.
Oh, and bands like Archspire doing like a parody of it.
That was
Like,
fun. That
yeah.
was fun. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
But
and it's just
but
any of this, like. I mean, well, they've made like $10,000 on GoFundMe, to like,
It's probably more than they got from their album sales
yeah,
combined.
to like, get him home. And I'm like, okay, so America's a big place, but like, if I got stranded in Edinburgh, I could get home. you, you know,
But they
I
don't have
could
they don't
get.
have trains. They don't
Well,
have the
no,
trains like
true.
we do.
I suppose if they are literally stranded in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
fine. But yeah, it's just made the whole thing just weenie, and I'm just like, oh, it's just tarnished the
But
band.
it has been a big year of white text on black posts, hasn't it?
Oh, it has. Like, how many times do you sort of wake up in the morning, you're a bit bleary eyed, and like you scroll through Instagram, and you see that pop up, black background, white text, and you're like, oh fucking hell, what's this now? Um,
Let me get
uh,
my glasses.
yeah, arch enemy. Like, what's that all about? You know,
Yeah.
white text,
It's
black
very,
background.
it is funny when, I don't know, because I kind of just want a vague statement sometimes. But I feel like for a band of that caliber, they should have gone into more detail.
People want
But
to
then, like,
know,
oh,
like,
come on. I mean, we don't care because we.
yeah, people want to know, and I think it's the vagueness that kind of
Fuels it.
fuels the sort of,
Speculation.
you know,
I
because it doesn't
mean,
read well, does it? It's just like,
no.
oh well, somebody's done something, you know.
And then
Um,
as soon as a post says, oh, feelings mutual, is the amicable part, you're like, okay, cool. But you just kind of scroll along. Whereas it's like, this person isn't in the band anymore. But and then lo and
okay,
behold, she releases her solo single, which I
yeah,
haven't bothered listening to.
no,
But
I won't be listening to that.
I haven't said that. I mean, I've never really been much of an Arch Enemy fan. Um, However, I did see them live with Alyssa, but I went to the gig purely to see Soilwork, who were supporting, and I love Soilwork. And then Arch Enemy were headlining for an hour and a half, and I was like, oh God, this is going to be a long night, an hour and a half of a band that I don't really care for. She was amazing as a performer, an
Yeah,
entertainer, a frontman. Wow, I really enjoyed it. I I don't I'm how do I phrase this? I'm more of a fan of female shouty vocals than I am of female growly vocals.
okay, yeah,
So
that's fair. Yeah,
I'm more of a fan of like the Serena Cherries, the Justin Jones,
mm, mm.
um, the Poppies, the Eva Spencers, not the Alyssa or um but I don't know, I think there's more doing it now. Like, gosh, who's the woman who does the vocals for Predatory Void? Well, like Cheney from Entheos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's just, I think for Alyssa, for me, it's just very one note growl.
Mm, mm.
But then again, all the male vocalists in the world, so many shit ones that we just don't bat
Oh
an
God, there's
eyelid at
tons of them. Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
it's just a
yeah,
vocalist.
yeah.
But
Um,
yeah, so yeah, so again, the memes have been great. Um, People jokingly announcing a new Arch Enemy vocalist, like Michael Ackerfeld with blue hair. But
well, I'm
yeah,
hoping that because I think next year will be 30 years of Black Earth Arch Enemy, and I hope that they do some shows with Johan Lever,
yeah.
like the original vocalist.
I mean,
Uh,
it's been 20 years since Doomsday Machine.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, maybe get Angela Gosso or get Gosso and Johan Lever back to do some album like celebration shows. I'd be up for that.
Like, keep all the
Um,
old fans happy.
Well, yeah, yeah, it'd be, but all generations basically. I'll give you a little beard fact. Chris Amott from Arch Enemy was the first person that I interviewed when I was when I was writing a fanzine as a
Wow,
teenager. Yeah, Chris
that was a
Amott.
big name.
It was, yeah. Didn't know what I was doing.
Bit like
And
now.
still like now, yeah, still haven't got a clue what I'm up to. But I remember writing to all of like the record labels, basically going, I'm writing this fanzine. Um, and everything was by post back then.
Yeah,
And I sort of wrote my, living at my parents, wrote my landline number down, sent it off to Century Media, um, whatever it was, like marketing or something. And I get this call, um, and I hadn't interviewed anybody. It was never done anything like that. And they were like, "Oh, hello, yeah, yeah, Century Media. Chris would be happy to do an interview with you." And I was like, "Oh God, okay, I've actually got
throw
to do
yourself in
this."
the deep end.
Yeah, and I remember I ran round my mate's house because his dad worked for a local newspaper, so I was managed to get like a dictaphone
Yeah,
um, and sort of recorded on a speakerphone, basically with a dictaphone.
yeah.
I wonder where all, I mean, God knows where all of that is now. Like I'm sure I've thrown it all out, but yeah, Chris Amott was the first person I ever interviewed, which was quite good fun. Um, so yeah, I mean, this sort of going back to there's like an overkill on it as well, like the whole Dogma stuff. Have you seen
Yeah.
Dogma?
Yeah.
And
Well, that
just
they were just, I don't want to say they were just an industry plant because, no one deserves to be exploited or, you know, treated badly, but it is, I don't know. It is like, oh, cool. A band where the gimmick is scantily clad nuns, and lo and behold, their management treats them badly. It's not really a surprise, is it?
yeah, I mean, so I think like when what is it that you're like you say, what is it that you're presenting as this band? I mean, the first time I saw like heard of Dogma, it just came up on YouTube. And as a red-blooded male into metal, I was like, oh, look, scantily clad nuns playing metal. Click. Um, I don't think I had any sort of illusion that it was just going to be, a gimmick. Um, and then there's just like all the contract negotiations, like just spilling all like no one
It's
cares.
like it's
Like
like
you're not.
Cradle of Filth again,
Oh
but with
God,
better
yeah,
makeup.
yeah. And you're just like, yeah, all of this like contract negotiation stuff that gets like spilled out into social media and things like that, and it's just like oversharing, and it
Yeah,
and it destroys any semblance of character or illusion or like when I first got into Cradle of Filth, like in the 90s, like they were like they projected evil, like you can sort of
yeah,
think that like, and then you're just like, oh, it's just this guy that sort of does all of these contract negotiations with the merchandise and things like that, and it's like a revolving door of members, and
yeah.
you know
And like
and
I've
it
said to you before, like off the podcast, when I did music at college, all the guitar tutors were ex Cradle of Filth members.
yeah, 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 yeah. And there was like 40 of them. Just here's Mr. Smith. Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
just I don't know why people sign up for Cradle of Filth are surprised that
But it
yeah.
ruins the illusion, doesn't it? And I think really this is just where we are with bands. I think as there's more like there's a lot of good things that have happened with like streaming and social media is it has democratized music, you know, and that's good. It sort of gives everybody the opportunity. You're on a fair playing field, even playing field, you know. And I think that's what the reduction of like label interference has done is like,
Yeah,
but what label interference did used to do was sort the wheat from the chaff.
yeah,
You know, they had A&R and like, and now you've just got, you know, hundreds of bands that sound alike, all hyper produced, you
yeah,
know, just because you can download a whole mixing desk onto your laptop now, you know, and bands appear bigger and they're still just driving around America in an RV and they have a spat. Everybody has a boo up. Well, that's it, band done. And you're like, okay, well, nice one, lads.
Are there are there any genuinely scary or intimidating bands out there anymore? I don't think being a
That haven't been
teenager,
cancelled.
yeah, being a
No.
teenager, getting into metal, and obviously being a teenage girl, um, gosh, like Cradle of Filth were scary. Even even Jimmy Borgir and
Hmm.
like all even like when I first heard of Behemoth, like
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
scary. You know,
Um,
that was yeah, that felt evil.
Having that sort of like nervousness of going to like, you know, not nervousness, but like that sort of anticipation buzz of like
Yeah.
something being, you know, could kick off or like it's evil or,
Yeah.
you know, um, yeah, it's just given too much accessibility to, you know, the nerds, the flawed nerds that they really are. Um, you know, and like I think it's good for people to be able to sort of I think it's good to be able to share mental health, you know, kind of, but equally, you know, it's like there's a balance there as well, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think it's good that like, you know, people aren't tolerating, you know, abusers
oh, sure,
and
yeah, yeah,
genuinely awful people.
yeah,
And that's great that we're now finally at that stage. But it is just a whole area of dirty laundry and just how everyone has to have their say. Like, this isn't a Hello magazine.
yeah, yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
this isn't a
Um,
gossip mag.
so I think really sort of as consumers, um, and I think you know, as I say, with some industry kind of exposure and you know things, it's just like manage your social media better. You know, I think take like individuals. If you're in a band, delete all your social media. Manage the band page. Give it to um, what's the word? Sweden, neutral individual, you know, that you trust. Um, and think about what you're doing. Give things like a little time to die down as well, because I think people are fickle and the internet is fickle.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think if vitriol like simmered down, got themselves home, rather than the next day when they're probably hung over to shit, you know,
On a come
still
down,
still on
whatever.
a come down exactly,
Yeah.
you know, and then they're straight on the internet, you know. And you just wake up in the morning in the UK and you see it and you just go, oh, what now?
And I think you know, back in our day, our metal outlets were magazines, and it
Mm,
would have taken a month to pick up the news
that's
and
right.
publish it.
Yeah,
Whereas, you know,
yeah,
metal outlets now, you know, like Lamb Goat or Metal Edge, whatever, um, they're constantly posting. So something like that, that's going to get the ad revenue in
yeah.
from their pages. So
It's all the clicks. Yeah, yeah,
have a clickbaity title, get everyone having a go at each other in the comments. It's not that's not even journalism. They're just recycling all the other posts. No, I'm not saying those outlets specifically. I'm just saying, you know, all outlets are showing the same things, and it's all the same comments underneath on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
post,
yeah, yeah. Um,
which is a
Frankly,
copy and
I
paste.
just I'm sick of it. And it makes metal annoying and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I might just not, I'll just listen to whatever, um, White Zombie. I don't know.
It's been a year for, isn't it? Like dragged into sunlight and all that, and then uh yeah, Cradle of Filth, Volvadinia. That vocalist only lasted
Zulu
a
as
couple of
well. Was it
days.
Zulu?
Zulu.
I mean, that was a shame.
Yeah, they were onto a good thing. They haven't. What's happened? They haven't. Have they regrouped? Have
They're
they?
done. It's done. Um,
Yeah.
you know, uh, yeah. So we'll see what 2026 brings for white text on black background announcements. I'm sure there is going to be more of them. But yeah, as I say, just as a consumer, like work out a better way of doing it. Bands,
I think like I hate to say like as a girl, you know, being a female and you constantly get like, oh, you're always emotional. Why are you so emotional? And then you have these burly metal men in their little
yeah,
bands
yeah,
getting really emotional on
yeah,
their social media posts, and you're just like, come
yeah.
on.
Come on, lads! Like,
Yeah.
wind your necks in, wind your necks in. Um, so yeah, that's our little rant, I think, for today.
We're just
Um,
we're just bored of it. We just want the metals. Yeah,
yeah,
we don't want you being a dickhead. I'm glad people get called out, but
yeah.
it really does for the enjoyment of I don't know, or you know, do we really need to be aware that people are um, behaving like this? Oh, I don't
No,
know. Just
we'll
go
we'll
in a
we'll we'll
circle.
see. I'm sure nobody will heed our advice either. Of the couple of
We'll
hundred
probably
views we have per episode so
probably lose
far.
some subscribers. What's that? You
Ah,
don't like the new Converge? You're dead to me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, well, maybe we'll turn that around when the album comes out, and maybe we'll be like, this is absolutely amazing, and we were wrong. And I am always prepared and always ready to be wrong, basically.
Oh yeah, yeah, me
Um,
too. Me too.
Yeah. So what's coming up next in the next week or so? Have you got any exciting metal related plans, or are you just gonna try and recover from the damnation flu?
I'm recovering. Recovering. Um, got a few reviews lined up. Uh, and then I'm gonna slowly start looking at my end of year list, but I probably won't make a firm decision
Yeah.
until our episode.
My shortlist, I don't think I'm gonna be able to whittle it down. Like I've got 50 albums on there. Like this 2025, and I can't wait
Been a
to
good
talk
year.
about this, has been a great year for metal. Um,
I think I'm also gonna do my top songs of the
Yeah, I was
year.
thinking about doing a playlist actually, and then we can share it with the wider world, um,
Yeah.
with our 49 subscribers. Um, and I would say if you're listening to this brand new and you've not subscribed yet, you could be number 50, and that would be an absolute milestone for us to hit
Can
50
someone please
subscribers in
can
five
someone please be
weeks.
number 50 because
Yeah.
Bina got really upset when we lost a subscriber.
Yeah,
So we
I
should
think
be up.
somebody accidentally pressed the subscribe button and I saw them because when there's so few of them, you can see it drop by one, and I was very
Yeah, we're still
disappointed.
we're still on 49 subscribers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you could be the 50th. And we've got a really good episode planned for the end of year conversation. We're going to have a great guest on that one.
We might even have a
I
couple of guests on.
Yeah, I think we might be able to do a giveaway as well to celebrate the end of the year. So listen in, subscribe, um, listen to that episode, and you might be number 50. So yeah. As I say, I'm off to the Big Smoke on Friday to watch Portrayal of Guilt and Death Heaven, which I'm very excited to see again. And then that's it for the gigs this year. Um,
Yeah, I don't think I've got any gigs now until the first one in my calendar is Mole in London in February.
nice, yeah.
I'm sure something else will crop up before then.
Yeah, already starting to pencil in dates of things that are happening band-wise next year, which will be good. I also saw just before we started recording that Sixth might be dropping a new track on the
Yeah.
28th on Friday, so that'll be fun. I always had a
And
soft
fun
spot for
fact,
those guys.
yeah, I do. And fun fact, they were the first band I ever crowd surfed to.
Oh, good. I
I
did
crowd surfed during Bland Street Bloom.
which is probably one of my favorite tracks of
Yeah.
theirs. I did a DJ set with Mikey in one of my old metal club nights. So yeah, always got a soft spot for those boys. So I hope they
Yeah.
release something good. Um, so yeah, so we'll wrap it up, and then I can let you climb back into bed, I expect,
Yeah.
and get yourself better. So thanks so much for being here. Um, thank you for sort of playing off our hot takes on the news this week.
Why don't you share your hot takes in the comments?
Yeah. Share your hot takes in the comments. Don't sort of rail us too much on. As I say, these are all personal opinions. Other opinions are available. Thanks so much for listening in, and we will catch you on the next one. Ta-ta.
Bye.
Pod Destroyer is not filmed in front of a live studio audience. MetalMance and Beardodoom are not trained professionals, and as such, it is positively encouraged to try this at home.